Hi, Andy Henderson here, Sherpa guy, live from Forward Thinking. This is all about how to get the answers to all the questions that you've got running around in your head. You're a business owner, and I get it. You know, your head is full of trainers all clanking around. There's all these questions. I want some answers. There's so much stuff going on. There's overwhelm. It's all going off. And we can get like this quite often when we're in the weeds, when we're in the business, we're not working on the business. And on Monday we talked about, you know, how all this plays out and how Success GPS, you know, seeks to answer all the questions that you've got. It's going to answer every single one of them. Hi, I'm Andy Henderson. This is Sherpa Guidance episode 65. It's Wednesday. Really nice to be here. Really glad to see you. And yeah, I'm on it today. Really terrible night's sleep last night. I was up at 3:10. If you want to see a funny post, I've just put something on LinkedIn. I'm not going to tell you what it was. I'm not a subscriber of this 5 a.m. club or anything like that. I don't get up early. In fact, I stay in bed as long as I possibly can. But I was up at 3:10 with racing brain, overwhelmed brain. I have all this stuff going on, all these things. So I just had to get up because I couldn't sleep. Anyway, Sherpa Guidance episode 65. Monday's live was all about how Success GPS is the answer. What's the question? Now you've got 5 million questions and you're asking yourself all these questions all of the time. And I get it, you know, sales questions, how do I sell more, how do I get more, how do I get more leads, marketing questions, how do I do all that, finance, numbers, people, belief, high performance, engagement, you know, you name it, it's all in there. And, you know, we talked about all those things and I talked you through the list of all the things that happen within the Success GPS program. 8 weeks, that's all it is. And it's not expensive, it's great value for money. And it's going to answer all the questions you've got. So the outcome of that is you've got clarity, you've got control, you've got some certainty in a world full of uncertainty. You've got your mojo back, you're buzzing for the future, you're looking at everything with positivity, you're looking to climb your mountain, to get to the top, because we all know what happens when we get to the top of a mountain. We feel good, self-belief, pride, confidence, clarity. You can see for miles. And guess what? At the top of your mountain that you're climbing, guess what you see? You see another 7 mountains. But once you're at the top of yours, every single mountain that's in front of you becomes your choice because you've made it. You can choose which mountain you climb next. So today was all about a bit of a framework, a bit deeper understanding from Monday's Live about how some of this stuff works. So, you know, we've got mindset, we've got purpose, we've got goals, we've got dream buyer, we've got sales and marketing, all these questions constantly going around. So it's like, okay, so mindset, Andrew, how do you fix my mindset? Because I feel a bit down, I feel a bit like I'm on the hamster wheel, I feel overwhelmed, I've got all these questions and I just can't see the wood for the trees. Well, very often, there's loads of people talk about mindset coaching and stuff, and it's not difficult to get right. Very often as human beings, you know, our brain is trained to look for negatives all the time. You know, what's wrong with me? Who am I? You know, what's wrong with this? Why can't I do this? And of course, when you ask yourself those questions, you're going to find a shit answer. You're going to get an answer. You're going to find the answers about what's wrong. You're going to find all these negatives. It's like if you imagine a small man in a dark cave with a torch, or it might be a small woman in a dark cave, of course, with a torch. And all they can see in that dark cave is whatever they shine the torch beam on. And in that dark cave, they're shining the torch beam on a dead rat. And that's all they can see. That's all they can see, this dead thing. So they're thinking negative all the time because that's all the torch beam projects onto. It's a dead thing. All around them in the cave are the world's greatest riches and jewels and diamonds. And look, there's a genie lamp over there. If I give it a rub, you know, the genie might come out. Oh, that's crazy. That's a bit of Aladdin for you there. You know, so what we have to do is we just have to raise our torch beam a little bit. We just have to point it upwards a little bit and shine it on something else. Shine it on the future, shine it on the top of the mountain, shine it on a place we want to be, so we start making steps towards that place. It's not difficult when you can use pictures, analogies and stuff, and when we can get some clarity over where we're trying to get to in the future. So there's bits of mindset in there. It's important when we start the journey that you're in the right frame of mind. You're not thinking negatively. I get that torch beam raised really quickly to where you want to be, to the life that you want to create, to the business that you've always wanted to build. So we get the mindset. We start to develop a sense of purpose. Because one of the questions I ask you, and it's quite a common question in the coaching world, but it's not a common question in our lives, because you'll never get asked this question in school. You'll never get asked this question by your parents. You'll never get asked this question by your teachers. You'll never get asked this question by your first boss. You never ask yourself this question. I'll ask you the question, what does success mean to you? What does your dream life of success look like in 10 years' time? What? What? No one's ever asked me that before. We need to know what that is, because that is where you're going. That's where you want to be. And once you've defined that, where are you? Who are you with? What does your life look like? What does your life feel like? What things do you own? How does it feel like to live your life in 10 years' time on a daily basis? What do you want to feel like? It's defining your destiny, defining the person you want to become, defining the place you want to be. You know, once you've got that, you've got a sense of purpose. The purpose doesn't have to be meaningful work. The purpose means, you know, taking progressive steps forward and feeling like you're making progress, feeling like you're fulfilled, moving to a place that you've defined that you want to get to. Yeah, purposeful steps, purposeful progress. So once you've defined the life that you want in the future, we've got a sense of purpose. So we've got a strong mindset, a positive mindset, an open, forward-thinking mindset, and we're pointing that torch beam on the life that we want in the future. And I'm not saying 10 years' time, you've got to wait for 10 years to feel good. Just bear with me. We start to think, once we understand that successful life in the future, we start to think, well, okay, my torch beam's raised, I feel good, I'm thinking good. I'm feeling good now because I now know where I'm trying to get to. I know what my life, what I want my life to be like in the future. But it's a long way off, is that? And how does that relate to my business, Andrew? Well, all we need to know now is, how does your business need to perform to give you the life that you've described? Your business is just a vehicle to take you from A to B. So at point B, it's the top of the mountain. But what's the outcome of point B is the life that you're going to lead when you get there. The life that you're going to feel awesome about. Proud and confident and self-belief and built a legacy and happy and vibrant and excited. All these great feelings. So how does my business need to perform to give me that life? No more, no less. So this stops us constantly chasing stuff. Growth. I just want growth, growth, growth. Well, why? You've got all the money in the world. Why do you want more? Well, because I've never asked myself the question. And that's the problem with some of us business owners. We never ask, when is enough enough? Well, it's never enough until you've defined where you want to be and what you want your life to be like. Then you've got something to measure it against. You know, so we don't need multi-billion-dollar businesses. So why put ourselves under that pressure? If you want a really nice life with a couple of houses, holiday home, and a nice car, really healthy family, private school for the kids, you know, whatever it is, how does your business need to perform to give you all those things? Is it 100,000 a year, 500,000, a million, 5 million, 10 million? You know, what is it? What does it need to do revenue-wise? What does it need to do profit-wise? How many customers do you need? So we start thinking about, okay, I know where I'm going. I've got my torch being raised. I know what my life is going to look like in the future. I know now how my business is going to perform in 10 years' time, how I want it to perform to give me that life. So let's reverse engineer everything back from there and set some goals, because I'm excited now. And when you're excited, that's the best place to set goals from. The right goals for the right reasons. Don't set them after Christmas when you feel miserable and you've eaten too much, you've drank too much, you're in a negative place, you're in a bad mindset, a poor mindset. Because all you're going to do is set goals to try and get you out of the trenches. You're not going to set goals to stretch yourself and grow. So when you've done that exercise, you're in the right place to set the right goals for the right reasons. Then, once we all understand where we are, once we understand where we're trying to get to, what we want our life to be like, we understand the performance of the business, and we understand the goals, 10-year goal, North Star to the Three Kings, we need to set that. And all the coaches out there will say, you can't set a 10-year goal, Andrew. You can't do that, it's just not possible. You can't plan to hit a 10-year goal. I don't want to create a plan for a 10-year goal. I want you to create a goal that's going to light you up, and excite you and scare you in equal measure. So every day you wake up, you think of that 10-year goal. And you go, shit, that's a flipping big goal that I've committed to that. I've told everyone about it, bloody hell. But on the flip side, you're excited about it. Do you know why you're scared and excited? Because you're operating. To get there, you need to operate outside your comfort zone. You need to stretch yourself. And that's a great place to operate from, because you know by operating outside your comfort zone, you need to learn something and grow as a person. What a great feeling to learn and grow and be on the edge. Oh my God, I haven't done this before. Oh my God, my business is growing. Oh my God, we're doing it. You know, what a great feeling. This is where we're going. Unbelievable. So we need to understand that. So once we've got start point, destination, we know where we're going, we've got the goals, we've kind of got a sense of this journey. So then it's like, okay, well, how do I get there? This is where all these questions about sales, marketing all kick in. So, you know, all the gurus out there will say, you need marketing, you need Facebook ads, you need all this stuff, and do my course and do it. No, you need the foundations first. Before you do any of that advanced stuff, you need the foundations. And if you haven't got these foundations in, the marketing's not going to work. So what do we need to do? Well, first of all, before we do anything, we need to really understand the services and the products that you offer. I don't want a list of 5,000. Hi, Ben. I want a list of the core, the big chunky services that you offer. Like for me, it's Success GPS Mastermind, Success GPS Boards and Teams, Success GPS Online Program, Career GPS. I've got those 4 major services. We've got Health GPS on the way. We've got other GPS services on the way, Success GPS Digital, all sorts of things. But right now, they're the 4 core ones. So I need to know what they are. Why do I need to know what they are? Because the same buyer is not going to want to buy each of those. They've all got different types of buyer profile. They've all got different types of dream buyer. And all those dream buyers, dream buyer for Success GPS Mastermind is different to Boards and Teams, is different to the online program, very, very different to the Career GPS program, because the first 3 are for businesses. The last one is for career professionals who are trapped and stuck in jobs they hate, with a boss they hate and an industry they hate, but they're earning lots of money and they feel like they can't get out. So we need to understand the products and services. Why? Because we need to define the dream buyer for each of those products and services. Well, what do I mean by dream buyer? Well, I mean, this is part of the real marketing foundations of running and growing a modern business. It's not sufficient to say, I'm a business coach, I'm going to help your business grow, more revenue, more profit, awesome, yeah, it's great. No, because that's just talking to the buyer's head, and every business coach will talk about the same thing. And I'm not a business coach, you know that now, I'm a Sherpa guide. We need to understand emotionally where that person is, what's in their head, who are they, where are they, what do they like, what are their problems, what are their pains, what is the result that they want to see, what is the result that you can give them, deep and meaningful result. We need to understand that stuff, and we need to have evidence to back up that claim, because once you understand your dream buyer, the demographics, once you understand your dream buyer, psychographics, the character traits that these people share, and then you understand the problems that they have on a daily basis, how those problems manifest as pains, and how what kind of result they want from someone like you. What is the big result that they're looking for in their business or their life? We need to know that stuff, because when you understand it, when you market using those terms, it's like you're in your dream buyer's head. It's like you understand them, because you understand them deeply. And if you understand them deeply, pains, problems and results, you can serve them deeply. And when you start marketing in those terms, you don't have to force yourself on anyone. They come to you, which is brilliant. And it feels less like selling and more like helping, which I am a salesperson, I suppose, but I've never been a trained salesperson. I've never been in sales until I've run my own business. But I much prefer the word helping, because when you know the pain and problem and you know the result that they want, it's easier to frame it as I'm helping them get rid of that pain and problem and helping them get that result. Yeah? So we go through the dream buy stuff, really foundational in terms of marketing. Then we start to create the message that you're going to put out there to attract the dream buyer's attention. Then we're going to start thinking about how we're going to communicate that message to your audience to get more of them on board. Let me ask you a question. Where's the best place to sell Bibles? Where's the best place to sell Bibles? You've got it. It's church. Why is it church? Because we know our dream buyer, if we're selling Bibles, is in the same place at the same time every single week. So if I want to sell a Bible, I'm going to speak to the vicar and go, hey, vicar, I've got some great Bibles. Do you mind if I have a 10-minute guest slot Sunday at 10:15? Because I'm going to speak to the congregation of dream buyers, because they're all going to want my new supercharged Bible, because it's awesome and it's all gold leafed and everything. It's lovely. We need to do the same with your dream buyer, but unless you know who your dream buyer is, you don't know where they congregate, so you don't know where they hang out, so you don't know how to market them and get their attention so they come into your world instead of you forcing yourself into theirs. We talk about all that stuff, communication, all sorts. What else do we talk about? What else do we go into? Financials. So we understand your goals, your financial goals, your revenues, your profits, your customer impact goals, might be company valuation goals. We reverse engineer all those things, so we look at your average order prices and your value ladder and all sorts of bits and pieces. So you're clear on your offer, you're clear on your message, you're clear on who needs to read that message to come into your world to buy your stuff. It's all very personal. It's never about you, it's always about your customer. So we cover all that off. And once you've kind of got the marketing foundations, then we have to think about, okay, I've got my fuel for the journey. I know where I am, I know where I'm going, I know what my goals are. I need to know what, I've got the fuel, so I know what the dream buyer stuff is, the message, how we communicate it to get them on board, so that's all going to attribute to growth. Great, it's like the fuel that's going to move you in your vehicle. Then we need to start thinking about, okay, well, what route am I going to take and what resources do I need? So resources, partnerships. What partners could you work with that share the same dream buyer market as you, that don't sell the same products and services that you could work with to cross-market? Do you need an accountancy partner, a marketing agency partner, an HR partner? We need to know all this stuff. We also need to know what systems and technology you've got and what you need for the journey to help you grow. We also need what resources you need for the journey as well. People, skills, IP, offices, buildings, vehicles, cash. What do you need to support your growth on that journey? We go into all that stuff. And you might think, how on earth, Andrew, can you do this in 8 weeks? Well, I do. And it's awesome. And it's going to make you feel good. And end to end, 8 weeks. And then there's a portion of implementation if you want me to help you with that. Resources. So what do we do then once we've got all the resources? Well, once you've got all that information, it's like, what we need to do is we need to create a plan. Not just a plan, not a plan to get to 3 years, not a plan to get to 10 years. We need to look at our 1 year goals and go, right, I need a plan to get from A to B. And we create a 12-step plan. The 12 things you must do between now and 12 months' time to hit your goals. And I've got 6 questions that I ask you. And out of those 6 questions, and they're all psychologically prepared, so you're going to feel something when you write the answers down. Out of those 6 questions, and 100% of the time, it happens every time, which is different to Anchorman, which is 60% of the time they say it works every time. 100% of the time, it works every time. You get 12 things. You end up with 12 things that you must do between now and 12 months to hit your 1 year goals: revenue, profit, customer impact. And before we get to that stage, you're like, there's no way, Andrew, all this stuff that I've learned, all this stuff, all this deep stuff, there's no way we can do that. 100% of the time, it works every time. 12-step plan. Get from A to B in 1 year. Awesome. And then what we do is we create a 90-day view, which is, pretty typical. We create a 90-day view of your milestones, top 3 out of 12. We create a 90-day view of your goals, your financial goals, your revenue, your profit, your customer impact goal. And we've got that 90-day view. So we've got a shorter-term view. Right, in the next quarter, I'm going to smash that. I'm going to smash that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to complete those milestones. I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I know exactly where I am. I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what it's going to feel like when I get there. I've broken down the journey into milestones and goals. I now understand the strategy of how I'm going to attract customers with the right type of customer, the right message, the right communication channels. I know about the partners, the resources that I need, the systems and technology, and how my revenues and costs will scale as my business grows. I know all that stuff. I haven't got any questions anymore. Andrew, the only question I've got is, how do I keep myself on track? Because once I've done the course and you've left me, I'm going to drop over the edge and I'm going to regress into the old way of working. Oh, hi, Ben. How are you, Ben? And hi, Simon Hall. Nice to see you. Loving the coffee, by the way. The branding is awesome. Andrew, why do I keep myself on track? Well, that's where vital signs come in. So I asked you some questions about the key things that we need to understand about your business, so that before we even make any revenue, profit, or create any impact or increase those numbers, we need to understand what the things are that you do in order to create revenue, profit, and customer impact. So we need to start creating a list of vital signs, the things that you're going to measure on a weekly basis. Number of leads, number of referrals, number of quotes or proposals, number of sales made, number of average order value, whatever these things are, and they're all different for different businesses. How many meetings have I had? How many discovery calls have I had? How many conversations have I had with new potential clients? Whatever these things are, we need to measure them, because in the business world, and this happens to big businesses as well, if the business isn't performing, it's like everything's wrong, everything's shit, the business is knackered, it's rubbish, it tastes horrible, it feels horrible, everything's broken, and you feel frustrated and overwhelmed because it just feels like nothing's going to plan. But the thing is, when you deconstruct the component parts of your business and you understand them, they're in front of you, and you've created a business by design, by aligning all these component parts to the journey that you're now on between point A and point B, you can start to see exactly what's not firing. So instead of everything's wrong, the business is shit, it's like the business isn't shit, the business is awesome, it's got loads of potential and we're unleashing it. It's just this week happens and we're looking at vital signs and something's glowing red. It's one thing. We haven't had our target amount of leads into the business this week, and therefore it's affecting the amount of face-to-face meetings we're having, the amount of Zoom calls we're having, the amount of proposals we're generating. Actually, it's affecting our revenue generation. It's affecting our profit generation. It's affecting the quantity of customers that we're impacting on a weekly basis. Hi, Dan. And once you've got all those things down, it's like, oh my God, I can see it. I can see how I can keep myself on track. So really, Andrew, I just do a 15-minute meeting with myself every week on a Friday and just look at these vital signs to keep myself on track. Yes. And if something's going wrong, you just pull that bit out, examine it. And if you've got a team that works with your senior management team or a team of people, just, have the meeting with them. Right, guys, we've got a problem. This is the problem. I'm going to pull it out. Right, what are the ideas we've got to fix this? What solutions can you come up with? Let's all have a bit of an idea. And then someone will win and go, right, okay, can you implement that? Yes, I can. Chuck it back in, implement it. Away we go. Watch the vital signs come back to where they need to be the next week. Watch the revenue and profit and everything else develop as we go. And the last bit I've got here is belief and engagement. You know, again, for large businesses in particular, how do I create belief in my business? How do I create more engagement? Well, the biggest thing that companies don't do is they fail to create a compelling vision of the future. They fail to create a vision that they can articulate to their people to get them to believe, to motivate them to believe. Because every human wants to be bigger than them, part of something bigger than themselves. They want to feel connected to something, a cause, a movement, and they want to feel like they're doing it together and going to a place together. Synchronicity, power, momentum, like racing yacht people. You can imagine that, everyone going in that same direction, gliding over the water. Businesses don't articulate a correct, compelling vision of the future. They very rarely have one. And if you, in the absence of a compelling vision of the future, all you have is an agreement between you and the employee. There's your job description. If you do these things satisfactorily, I will pay you at the end of the month. I mean, how shit is that? And I'm being serious. That's what you get if you have no compelling vision of the future. And then you ask yourself, why don't these people just get it? Why don't they get it? Why don't they just get what's in my head and go and do it as hard as I am and fast as I am? It's because they don't know why. Why should they? They don't feel part of something bigger than themselves. They don't feel connected. They don't feel valued. They probably feel like their potential is not being utilised. And everyone wants to use their full potential in everything that they do. And so what we do is, because we've got a map and we've got a journey and we've got all this understanding of where we're at and the obstacles and the challenges and the numbers and the goals and the resource and the route and everything, and we've got it in a visual context. Visual. There's the map behind. You've got the map. You can then blow this map up. I mean, it comes in A0 size anyway, but you can blow it up in the size of a wall. You can stand there with all your team members, all your partners, all your suppliers, your customers even, and share the journey that you're on. Share that compelling vision of the future. Share what your 10-year North Star goal is. Share what your 3-year picture is. Share what your 2-year goals, 1-year goal. Tell them what the obstacles are and the challenges. Tell them about the opportunities that you've got as a business. Share with them the new organisational chart for year 3 on the growth plan and show them all the opportunities they've got to learn and grow and develop their own career and take on more responsibility. Because once you share this journey and you do it with passion because you believe in it, because you've created this journey, right? It's your destination, it's your start point, it's your route. You've created this. You share it with your people, they start believing in it. And those that don't believe, unfortunately, will probably end up leaving, or you'll probably end up managing them out at some point. But those that do, they'll end up really performing for you. Back in the IT business, we were failing, right? We had 72 people turn over 12 million. When we implemented this stuff in our business, million smashing it, we had 48. So we doubled turnover with 10 times profitability, and we did it with like 20 less people. And that's because we created belief, because on the back of belief comes high performance. And when you've got that, you've cracked it. And it all starts with the map. So, if you're on the fence, if you've got a lot of questions about your business, how are you going to grow, how are you going to get out of this coronavirus situation, how are you going to... Everyone wants to just leave 2020 behind. So we'll leave it behind and we stick 2 fingers up it and go, thanks, I'm into 2021 now. What are you going to do differently? What are you going to change? If there's one thing I urge you to do is create a compelling vision of your future. What does your future look like? What do you want it to look like? And then start creating a business by design that's going to take you there. Because when you get there, you've got a life by design. You've designed the life that you want. You've created the path to get there. And you've created the structure and strategy to achieve that and feel good about yourself. Feel proud of what you've achieved. And I can help you with all this in just 8 weeks. And if you want to work with me on a month-by-month basis afterwards, you can. I'll help you implement it. But trust me, most people don't need that because they've gone through this program. They feel so good about themselves. They feel so insightful. They've got no questions anymore. They've just got a roadmap of everything they need to do to achieve everything they want to become. So it's quite remarkable. So guys, Sherpa Guidance, episode 65. That was a bit of a framework as to how this stuff bloody works, how it all connects together. What can I say? I mean, I can tell you it works. I can ask you to go to my website and look at the 100 or so testimonials I've got. There's about 20 videos on there. There's lots of testimonials from different people, from different industries, vast array of different B2B, B2C, accountants, IT companies. There's all sorts in there. Just check them out. And if you want to talk, all you need to do is reach out to me. Facebook Messenger or LinkedIn or phone or email. Just get in touch, and I'm gonna find out exactly where you are now, find out exactly where you kind of want to be in the future, examine the problem that's holding you back. And once we understand that, I'll understand then whether Success GPS is the answer to all your questions. And usually, if you're watching this and you think it kind of is, let's just have a chat and see. Because if it is, I want you to enter 2021 with a plan. I want you to enter 2021 excited about your future. I want you to enter 2021 to creating and building and mapping it out to create a life by design, a business by design. A business that's going to give you everything you need, everything your family needs, everything your customers need, everything your people need. So that's all for me today. Sherpa Guidance episode 65. Really good to see you. I'll be back on Friday, reflection section. And I'll be having an early night tonight because 3:10 this morning I couldn't get to sleep, and I'm not part of that 5 a.m. jazz club. It's not me. I'm part of the flipping stay in bed till 10 o'clock club if I can. I just couldn't sleep because I had so many ideas, so much stuff going on in my brain. So good to see you all. Andy Henderson, Sherpa Guide. Just remember, you're just one step away.